when you give, you have to give. The second I hear my online courses where you and many others, and I don't know what you're doing, could get caught, and when I say could, 99%, when you know that you're putting out something for free, that what you really want is for them to sign up for your online course, you're fucking dead. Guys, there's a reason you like me more. I'm not trying to funnel you into anything. I want nothing from you. I want you to tell me the story that young woman just said earlier. That's what I want. You know how much better that feels than signing up another person for my $6,000 thing? That, bro. Because if you're putting out content, you have a visual product. You should be dominating. The reason you're not dominating is every time you post, you hope they go to your fucking course. Don't do that. Just put out great content, and a funny thing will happen. They'll sign up for your fucking course. Okay. The intent of content is the variable of success. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. The intent that you have when you put something out is the variable of how well it will do. Amen to that. That's how you'll win. Teach people how to help them. Then you will get karma in return and you will sign up more people. Because when you're putting out content and they can sense what you're actually doing is trying to get them into the funnel to pay you, you're finished. And that's what everybody's doing. And yes, there are plenty of people that are successful. I know landing page optimization. I know, I get it. I understand funnels. I understand. It's a short-term game. And every day that goes by, it's losing leverage, not gaining leverage. I'm gonna make sure of it. Got it?
Yeah.
When you put out content every single day, you can do anything. Guys, my #1 successful post on Instagram in the last 3 years was me eating blueberries a couple weeks ago. That's fucking crazy. But that meant that you guys have been getting so much of one thing from me that the second I gave you something else, you liked it. You can do both. That's what volume of content allows. It allows creativity. It allows you to be selfish and selfless.
If you're in a corporation, as perhaps people are here, how do you manage putting content out whilst you have a banner or a brand that you represent in the market without having to go through layers of approval every time before you want to share something meaningful to people in your industry?
Life is about decisions. There are many organizations that you will be able to join that will not give you any headaches to do that. There will be far more that won't let you do it. Nobody's forcing you to work anywhere. If you're deciding that the stability or the income that you're getting from that job, this is, in America, cannabis industry is going through a big transition, right? And you can't run ads for cannabis companies on Facebook and Instagram. It's against the terms of services as America figures out its marijuana cannabis laws. I go speak at this event and all these people come up to me, they're like, Facebook's screwing me, Gary. Fucking Instagram's fucking me. I'm like, no, it's not. They tell you what the rules are. You don't like the rules. You try to start an account, they shut you down. I don't like that companies want to be capitalists, but then treat their employees like it's communism.
Right.
Which is why I don't do it. My employees can do whatever the fuck they want. They can start a VaynerMedia within the company, do content and steal I don't give a shit because I'm not scared. Right. But the reality is you have to make a decision. Are you gonna maximize your salary and not give a fuck about that rule? Or are you gonna go find a job, right, that pays you maybe a little bit less, but gives you the freedom you're looking for? It's as simple as that.
Blended and happy, right?
What's that?
Like blended and happy, right?
That's right.
Find that happy medium.
And here's what I love. When you really talk, this is why I love Q&A. Like when you have a logical conversation, the great thing is you're in charge. I understand what you'd like to happen, and I say to you, hey, are you gonna take this $237,000 a year job that doesn't let you, or do you wanna take this $150,000 a year job that does? Yeah. I think what's remarkable is people are starting to realize the second job is starting to make sense. And that is not how we grew up the last 80 years when it was maximize money. Now it's maximize happiness and opportunity. Because if you take the 150 and you do your content, what you already know, you've already tasted it, is you're only 3 years away from making 430 on your terms.
Right.
The first 18 years of my life, the entire world, besides my mother, said that I was gonna lose. I'm 43 years old. I grew up in an America where going to a good college was the only indicator of you being successful. And I was a DNF student. So every teacher I had and all my friends' parents thought that I was the loser kid in the neighborhood. And what I thought was they were the losers. I was right. So my chip was I was an immigrant. I came to a country I didn't speak the language. I was a terrible student. Every place in my life was telling me no, 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 except one place. When I sold lemonade, when I shoveled snow, when I sold baseball cards. There was this one place where there was nobody's judgment. It was just the market. Just the market decided. And that's where I was best. The market, not somebody's judgment. And that was my chip.
Follow-up question. What if someone doesn't realize what that chip is for them?
Then they won't be able to execute. Because if you are not self-aware about your own feelings, you are vulnerable. The question is, are you not willing to look? A lot of people in this room aren't willing to look because it's too painful to know where it's coming from. When most people's biggest problem here is apparent. That's not fun. That's not fun. And so I'm empathetic to that. Ego is not confidence, ego is insecurity, right?
Okay.
And when you're scared or nervous or not confident, a lot of people have DNA that makes them overcompensate. I call it a cactus. They're a cactus. They're tough on the outside, but they're soft on the inside. The reason I keep telling everybody kindness is a strength is I'm super nice and super passive, actually, and like I'm willing to let people take advantage of me because I'm strong inside. So the question is, you have to just know if you're nervous, if you're using, fake confidence to actually hide something you're concerned about. Humility is an incredible strength that many men and many people never want to show. Guys, I put out content more about me passing on Uber and losing than I do about the things I win on. Everybody else puts out content of fake wins. That's the difference. You understand?
Yes.
So this is only something you can answer. When are you most insecure? How do you then act when it happens? And if you front, that's your defense mechanism, and you need to understand that.
Yeah, because the way I would run my company, ideally, since I was brought up in the military, everybody got to do a certain way. If not, they'll get hammered for it.
The problem
is, I know it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because they have options.
Right.
In the military, when you sign up and you're sergeant or general, whatever the fuck it is, you're like, fuck, you gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
In a business, they're like, that's good, I quit. When you run a company, you work for everybody, not they work for you.
Got it.
And so, yeah. But that doesn't mean that there's plenty of things you've learned that are amazing. And by the way, for many people, that system will work. You just have to know that as a leader, there isn't one thing that fits everybody. So either you find people that it works for, or you develop the ability to manage people differently than just that way. That you decide. You don't have to do it the way I'm telling you to do it. You could just spend all your time finding people that like the military way and they like that vigor. I believe to scale, you have to have multiple ways to address issues, leadership, things of that nature.
terms of talking about being lonely when you don't kind of get the support from your family or from your close people around you, like how do you deal with that and still?
I deal with it extremely well because I love sticking it to people that don't think I've got it.
I mean, even if it's your spouse, your
Especially.
parents.
I'm being dead serious. Guys, I get, right? I understand how potentially disheartening it is when your fiance or parents or things don't believe in what you're doing, but it makes it so much more exciting when you achieve it because then you get to stick it to them.
Well, I've never really thought it that way, but
Well, this is the way to think about it.
okay.
No,
And-
but you have to understand, nobody understands an entrepreneur if they're not an entrepreneur because they want safe. But for you, you'd be unhappy being safe. You just lived it.
yes.
So I have empathy for her, but you're not capable of living your life any other way. So here's the best part of the argument, the debate, the issue. Somebody's gonna be right. Either you're gonna go and execute and provide for your family as an entrepreneur, and then you get to say to her, see? Or you're gonna fail and not provide and have to go get a job, and then she gets to say, see.
Right. When you put
That's
it
the
that-
only two options. Either your parents are right or you're right. Either your husband is right or you're right. Either the commenters in your section are right or you're right. I spend no time on the cheering or the boos. I spend on executing so that when it goes to 0, 0, 0, I can say I was right.
And just slightly adding on to that, I know you've had previous videos where you talked about handling hate on social media, so kind of acknowledge them and start a conversation, bring some
keep going.
positivity into it. But how do you do you address every one of them, or because at end of the day it still takes up your time?
Yeah, I can't address all of my hate anymore, but I think that too many people, when somebody says something they don't like to hear, dismiss it as hate and a troll. I read it and question it and then decide, is there any merit to it? And the reason I've been able to evolve is because I don't just default if somebody disagrees with me or makes fun of me that they're wrong. I try to be thoughtful about what are they doing. 9 out of 10 times, it's because they're in a bad place and they're just trying to drag me down. But occasionally there's a point there that I kind of fester in and start subconsciously adjusting what I'm doing. Feedback is important.